This is a Bramble Jam podcast. Hi, I'm Bran, and I love 90s sports movies.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I love 90s sports movies.
I'm Dan, and I also love 90s sports movies, and this is the Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
That's the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he's dancing. Oh, he's got the shirt on.
Look at that shirt.
YouTube, everybody.
Yeah.
That's what you're paying for. What is Ryan going to wear this week? That's
exactly
what
right.
everybody's asking.
Do you have to pay for YouTube?
No.
Great. Good.
Honestly,
Let's re-rack.
Yeah, let's go from the top. We got to do a different tier for Ryan's wardrobe.
Ask again. Ask again.
Do you have to pay for YouTube?
No, you don't, Dan. I don't know where to go from there.
No,
I don't
that's
know.
tough. We're still
Where
stuck.
should we go from there? No, you don't. And then do like a, just get it.
Yeah.
Right, how you
Just
doing,
get it.
buddy?
Yeah.
I'm good. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. Are you guys?
really?
Are you guys
Somebody's
familiar?
unemployed? I
You,
love that.
right. Between sports gambling, collecting toys, and sports movies, you got time for video games?
I'm up against it from the minute I wake up. But
You fit it all in.
yeah. Are you guys familiar with Fortnite?
Dude, how many people do you think are in the Venn diagram of Fortnite, Disney, AMC stubs, unemployed?
Watching football for 11 hours on Sundays.
Dude,
yeah,
you're not.
yeah.
Look, I know it's a holiday. The first red zone is a holiday. Like my kids
big
were
day.
home. It was on a screen from 1 to about 6:45 for me.
Yep.
I had to we had to do some bedtime stuff and some
Sure.
it was on. It was on. It's a holiday, and I was texting you on and off throughout that.
Sure.
What a
I
time to be
appreciate
alive.
your support. What a time. Sunday with the Browns this past Sunday was not a highlight, but Fortnite's been a real highlight.
So let's talk this through. So you jump off the bus, right? There's a bus floating in the sky.
I don't know.
Yeah,
anything
I don't
about
know
that.
how to thank the driver. I haven't figured that out yet.
So you
Dan,
jump
have you
off-
ever played? Have you ever
No,
played?
God, no. I
So-
haven't played a first or third person video game since Halo.
What about second
Person. Yeah.
Even second person.
Let me ask you. So what skin do you use?
Is it side
So
scroll?
this is why I got into it. They did a Power Rangers drop a couple weeks ago. Now here's the good news. I had never played Fortnite. I didn't even really know what it was, if I'm being honest. I knew what it was, but I didn't even know it was, that it was like Halo. Here's the good news. Fortnite is free. The game itself is free. The green and white Ranger skins were not.
Oh, I bet.
How much?
What does it cost you?
What did that cost you? You can't
Did
resell
you
this.
pay? You paid for an outfit for your avatar on a free video
So here's
Of
the
a game
important
you
thing
have
to keep
never
in mind.
played
Here's the
before.
important thing to keep in mind.
You got
that
robbed.
the game is free now, but
The creator
But-
of Fortnite woke up laughing this morning.
Let 'em-
you
let 'em-
always say that, but
let
you
'em
know,
speak.
Now, if you a regular PS5 video game, what, $60?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, 50, 60
So-
bucks. Sure.
So Fortnite was free, but that's so if you shave $60 off of what I had to pay to
It's
get
more than $60
I paid about $50.
after
60.
after you
You paid $110.
I paid $110, but I have played this game so much. I have won multiple battle royales.
Congratulations.
I
How
might-
long
now-
did it take
How much
you?
money did you win on the battle royales?
Well, I mean, I was going to say seriously that maybe I could go pro, which would solve a lot of problems, but
Now you joked, Dan, but when you win, don't you get what is it?
you get some V-Bucks back.
V-Bucks, and then you can
get
use
some
those for
V-Bucks
future
back.
skins.
Yes. Now, but here's the thing. Here's the other thing about this purchase. I'm not buying any other skins. To me,
we'll see.
that is
Yeah,
a-
we'll
to
see.
me,
Yeah.
let me finish. To me,
The little giant skins come
Fortnite
out.
is a Power Rangers game that also features other properties, right?
Yeah.
Like I got what I needed. Like I'm just gonna roam around as the green or white Rangers for the rest of time.
There's
but
no-
I'm pretty good.
You mean to tell me there's no other IP
I'll
that could
take
come
that
out with a
bet
spin?
right now. I'll take the bet right now that in the span of Ryan Popola playing Fortnite, he will buy more skins. I'll take that bet right now.
An NSYNC skin?
All right, well, I mean, if I could play as JC,
Boys to Men
especially,
skin?
well, that's not going to happen. But JC, Dan, in the Arby's apron, that would be a game
I mean,
changer.
come on. Yeah, 5 for 5.
You know,
I mean,
5 for 10. Who could say no?
That's
but,
right.
But yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm like level 40 already, Brano.
Dude, are you okay?
I mean, listen, I have a surplus of time. After I do 20 minutes of cardio in the morning, I take the dog out for a walk, and and then what other responsibilities do I have? So I'm pretty good. I've hit a bit of a snag lately. But Bran, I think you'd be proud of me.
Are we able to play cross-platform?
Oh, are you an Xbox boy?
No, I only have a
Switch. Is all we got.
Yeah, but from what here's the other thing. Oh, thanks, Bran.
For
thanks
your
for saying that.
$110, they give you
no.
5
Here's the thing. It
passes
really
to
was,
hand to other people.
Dan,
and when they
I'm going to
spend
sway
money,
you here. I'm going to sway you here. We're talking over each other. I'm going to sway you here because I don't pay for PlayStation Online, which is like an absurd yearly cost. Fortnite, you get the online for free. Really, if you think about it, the green and white, I mean, it all evened out in the end.
The least you could do.
So we can play?
And that's what I've been told. I don't know that for sure,
Do
but
you have
Bran, I'm
Fortnite?
taking
I
this
guess
pretty
it's free.
seriously.
It's free. What's stopping me from getting in there and dropping off that big balloon in the sky? That is
exactly.
not any sort. I'm not.
No,
that's
there's
how
no
it works.
euphemism.
How it works, and if
My-
you can tell me how to thank the bus driver, because I think that must help.
One of my sons, neither of which have ever played Fortnite. One of them calls it fork knife. That's what he calls
Oh,
it.
that's a better name.
And he doesn't care how many times I correct him either. He's like, in fork knife.
That has to be a bit, right? Is it a bit?
I don't know if it's
Have
a bit,
you met
but
kids?
my kid for literally over a year now has been calling it fork knife.
I love that.
Which I mean, to him makes more sense. Fortnite's a dumb word. Means 2 weeks. Means 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A fortnight.
And this
Who
game's
needs
been going
that?
on for a
Who
while.
needs that term?
So-
fork
Yep.
knife? Absolutely.
So does
Amen.
one game of Fortnite take 2 weeks within the game?
You just blew my mind. Run that by me again?
Okay,
Oh,
well, that's
no. No, I got you. I got you.
doesn't,
No.
no.
The
So
answer is no.
I'm just trying to give any sort of.
I don't know why it's called Fortnite. I just thought they think it was probably a cool word, but now they're probably kicking themselves for not going with fork knife.
fork knife. Yeah, it
They
was
are
right there.
probably
It was right
kicking
there in front of
themselves
us
about
yeah.
the fork knife. All right, shall we talk about?
That was a good segue
That
into
was
Cool Runnings,
great.
right?
$110 for video game avatar skins.
But if you really break it down, it was basically a wash. Right?
I got to be honest. I want to go
I
back to
didn't
that
take a
guy.
bath on that.
That guy that went from 100 down to 80, and you were like, "Could you do 50?" That guy, I want to go and tell him what you just spent on Fortnite skins.
I told you that I ended up getting that helmet in the mail when I got
Oh yeah,
for 52
how was the
bucks,
quality?
Hold on 1 second.
All right. We'll sit in silence.
What could he possibly show on camera that would make me go, "Oh yeah"?
Oh my
what is it?"
gosh, brother, that's dope.
I can't find my headphones. Hold on.
Oh no! Oh no!
I can't see with this thing on. He would
Okay,
have
I'm
loved
ready.
that.
I got you.
I can't see with this thing on.
I can't see with this thing on. Pretty good though, right?
That's great. That looks awesome. The brain's sticking out and everything.
So cool,
Let me
dude.
see side profile.
There we go, right here.
Oh heck yeah, brother.
Now, keep in mind, YouTube, I'm using this as a display piece, but also, I mean, like if I needed a makeshift Halloween costume, this would be pretty good.
Be
What was
honest,
the-
Ryan. You've worn it at least one time playing Fortnite.
I actually like that idea. I feel like even though my competitors couldn't see me, it would
It would
give a
strike
level
fear
of
in their hearts. Yes.
Intimidation. Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, that guy's kicking himself because I would have given him 70 on the spot. This was $52, and I ultimately I win in the end. Am I right?
Can
Am
you
I right?
do?
You
This is a weird thing to ask. Take that off real quick. Take off the helmet.
Take it off, right?
Can you knock on the top of it?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 Wait,
That's
what do you think was going to happen?
I couldn't tell what the quality was.
I could tell by him knocking it that's not worth anywhere in the ballpark of $52.
You know what? I'm actually sold on it. I think that this is a really, really, it's very big. It's very cool looking. It seems like it's well made.
Thank you.
please do
Should I do the whole episode like
yes,
this?
yes, you should
I
please.
mean,
We are talking cool runnings
feel the rhythm,
today.
feel the rhyme.
We're talking cool runnings. Now, I will say this. I will give you an out here, Rye. I am about to do a synopsis. It's going to take about
And if that
Yeah, I
helps,
think I gotta
minutes.
take it
Yeah.
off. I just feel like it would be offensive to Dougie Doug, right? The guy really, the guy
Dougie
really
Doug
gave his
deserves
all.
our best.
Dougie Doug deserves
Yeah,
our best.
so,
for sure.
All right,
Uh, Take it off.
Bran, easy, bud. We're
Sorry.
on the internet.
Cool Runnings, originally premiered in the theaters on October 1st. Would you have gotten that date?
I would have said sometime in the late summer, September would have been my guess.
All right, October 1st, close enough, 1993. And it went a little something like this. We are in Jamaica, and
Jamaica.
it is not quite bobsled time, everybody. We meet Jamaican sprinter Derice, who is running through town. It is November of 1987, and Derice is preparing to qualify for the Summer Olympics. He runs until he gets to the pushcart competition that his best friend Sanka competes in. He is a pushcar driving expert. He crashes, but no problem because he is he's good. Everybody's going to be okay. It is time for the qualifying race. Derice is the clear favorite. The top 4 finishers will represent Jamaica in the Olympics. Unfortunately, the runner next to him, Junior, stumbles and takes Derice down with him. Derice's Olympic dreams have been shattered. He tries to convince the Olympic Committee leader to rerun the race, but it's a no-go. Rules are rules. On his way out, he sees a picture on the wall of his late father standing next to some random white dude. Who is this guy, he asks, and he explains that his name is Blitzer, and he's a fellow gold medalist. He was into bobsledding, and he had a theory that sprinters would make a great bobsled team, and now he just lives in Jamaica, living a miserable life as a bookie. It takes a while, but Derice finally wears old Irv down, and Blitzer says he'll finally give him a shot. They get a group of folks together to give him the pitch about bobsled, and Blitzer intentionally shows them a reel of bobsled crashes. By the time the reel ends, the entire room is empty. Laughs all around for most viewers at home. By the time, the only person still there is Sanka, obviously, and Junior, the one who tripped him in the race. And then a grumpy fella named Rawle is there. And he's grumpy too, because he's also one of the other guys that Junior tripped. Bad news, but that is our team. It's bobsled time. They get to work, and it's a lot of crashing and falling. They finally figure out how to get into the bobsled in under 6 seconds. And that's all it takes. Well, that and some funding. After failing to find a sponsor, they do random fundraisers, still falling very short. So Junior, who is very rich, sells his dad's fancy car to fund the rest of the trip. To Calgary they go. Blitzer registers the team and borrows a rundown bobsled from one of his past teammates. The Jamaicans struggle to adapt to, the ice. Derice is talking to an opponent who tells him that Blitzer is holding them back and that he hasn't been the same since he got caught for cheating in the Olympics. The other teammates get into a bar fight down at the old Canadian honky-tonk, and Derice gives them a pep talk about really locking in. This is their moment. It's time for the qualifying round, and Blitzer surprises them with their very own uniforms. They have to make it down the ice in under 60 seconds. And they do it! Yeah! They're celebrating by finally painting their sled and naming it Cool Runnings when they get a letter. They've been disqualified. Blitzer barges into the rules committee meeting and he tells them not to penalize the team for what he did in the past. And after deliberating, they find out that they're back in, baby. It's time for the Olympics. Everybody back home is watching them march in on the opening ceremonies. Junior's dad shows up in Calgary and tries to convince him to come home, but Junior stands up to him thanks to some advice that he got from Rawle. The team's first day on the track is an absolute disaster, and they finish in last place. Sanka is basically like, hey, Derice, you're just trying to copy the Swiss team's methods for trying to get us ready to go. How about we find our own style? We're the Jamaican Bobsled Team. They improve in their second round, finishing in 8th place, and it all comes down to this: the final race. Everybody is on their side. The people back home in Jamaica, they are watching on pins and needles. They're going down. They're making great time, and suddenly we see a loose screw begins to shake, and the bobsled blades detach, causing them to flip over and slide down the ice with their heads. They could have used one of them helmets from the
really
Power
helped
Rangers.
with a brain helmet.
They really
that's right.
could have helped. It's just dragging them along. Luckily, they're not dead, man. They are determined to finish the race, and they pick up the bobsled and carry it all the way down to the finish line as a literal slow clap begins from the people watching along, including Junior's father. And then we find out, with words at the end, an epilogue.
Yeah, sure. You got it.
That's they return to Jamaica heroes, and they return to the Winter Olympics 4 years later as participants and equals.
You got it.
And
4
that,
years
my friends,
later.
was
Cool Runnings. We did it.
We did
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. Ryan's going to put the helmet back on, actually.
Nope.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
We're back here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Uh-oh. We're back.
Hi.
Are we?
Yes,
Yes,
we're back.
we are.
Hi,
Good,
everybody.
good,
Welcome
good.
back.
Yeah.
We're doing well today. We're talking cool runnings on another edition of Mighty Mondays. We've been doing this for a few
while
weeks,
now,
a few weeks
yeah.
now. The rankings are really getting close. I'm excited to see where Cool Runnings
This is the
lands.
7th one.
I believe so.
Oh, I only have 6. Did I miss one?
Space Jam, Angels in the
Oh,
Outfield.
Space
Yeah,
Jam.
there it
Oh,
is.
let me do that in real time. Yeah.
Okay, well, then I will vamp. It is time for the hot take. It's where we share exactly how we felt about this movie.
I
We
got it.
do
I'm
not
good.
hold back. And I'm going to start with you, Rye Guy. Get on up. It's bobsled time. Get on up. It's hot take time. What did you think of Cool Runnings?
All right, so some important backstory and context. I have very, very fond memories of Cool Runnings as a kid, but I definitely saw this the least out of any movie on this list as a kid. I think primarily because we didn't own it on VHS. Pretty much every other film on this list, we either bought proper on VHS or we recorded it off pay-per-view. Cool Runnings, I probably saw once or twice as a kid and then had a long gap where I did not see it probably until my teens or early 20s, probably my teens. But I always remembered really liking it and being very fond of it. I just didn't have the exposure to it that I did with pretty much any other film. It's also worth noting before I give this review, and I don't know if either one of you know this, probably won't surprise people. Actually, I probably talked a lot about it in the Facebook group last year. I love the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I love the Summer Olympics. I love the Winter Olympics. If you feet the fire, I probably slightly prefer the summer a skosh just because there's more going on. But I love the Olympics. I absorb as much of them as I possibly can. And they're among my favorite things. I wish we had them every 2 years, relatively speaking. Obviously, we have winter and summer alternating, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so
Carry on.
You want them every year, winter, summer.
I basically,
winter, summer, winter,
I don't
summer.
want a year.
Yeah.
A year without a Santa Claus. I don't want a year without Olympics.
It was the year without Olympics. No, please. No. You ever started and don't know where to go?
You know what? No.
I promised to my hot take is coming, but some other really important context.
we haven't
last
gotten there
year,
yet.
yeah, actually not even last year at 90s Con. This past year at 90s Con, a few months ago, the Cool Runnings cast was there, all 4 main principals.
Man.
And I sat in on a panel that they did, which I thought was great. And it was really, really insightful. And I was looking forward to watching this. At this point, we had already started talking about the idea of watching sports movies in some capacity. And so I was really excited to watch this viewing through the lens of that panel. And one of the things they said in that panel was that originally Cool Runnings was conceptualized as a much more serious drama. and then through Disney, I don't know about Disney meddling, but we just wanted it to be lighter. And for as much as I really enjoyed this viewing of this film, which is the sentence, obviously I have a Cool Runnings t-shirt. I like the movie a lot. It's nowhere near last in my rankings. I couldn't help but think what this would have looked like if it was more of a serious note, like Disney did with Remember the Titans, or like Disney did with Miracle, which isn't to say that I don't really, really like Cool Runnings, because I do. Great chemistry between the cast. I think the bobsled stuff is shot pretty well. And ultimately, just the dynamics and the spirit of the film, I think, is great. And I especially think that the last 25 minutes of this film, which by and large take itself more seriously, early 90s slow clap, excuse me, not accounted for. Easy for me to say, first day of my new tongue. That it's
oh my gosh, congratulations.
Good for you.
Thank
dude.
you.
That's
It
doing
was
amazing. You're doing amazing,
man.
You're
I
doing
figured
amazing
I
with
got
that surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Did that
you know,
come with the Power Rangers
First
skin?
day.
Or was
well,
that-
it was more that I did so well in Fortnite, they gave me a new
You should,
tongue.
you should rest it,
Yeah,
probably.
but
First
so,
day.
but the last 25 minutes or so are more or less taking itself very seriously. Not as much of the, or I don't want to say slapstick comedy that happens in the first hour of the film, but takes itself more seriously. My biggest problem with this film, and I'll talk more about this in the Wait What, it's not the biggest deal in the world, and this is my biggest flaw. It shows that it's a very enjoyable film. None of the timeline or Olympic stuff makes any sense.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, and
No.
none of the Summer Olympic stuff makes sense. None of the Winter Olympic stuff makes sense. And it did suspend my disbelief, but maybe that's just me since I'm such an Olympics nerd.
It makes more sense than what happens in Mighty Ducks 2, right?
Well, yeah, but the Junior Goodwill Games don't exist. Whereas this is based on a true story.
Okay.
Like, you know,
They're good.
it's like-
They're Goodwill games.
This is just the loosely. This is not what happened with the Jamaican Bobsled
No,
team.
and that's
This
the
is-
thing.
yeah.
So I'm sure one of you would mention this if I didn't. The moment that did happen is that their bobsled crashed out and they carried it across the finish line, and that very real moment was the foundation and basis for the film.
Yes.
They play fast
that's
and
good
loose.
enough.
with-
That's good enough for a
That's
movie.
all
Yeah,
you
no,
need.
totally.
It's all Disney.
No, totally. I
needs.
agree.
Yes.
They play fast and loose with everything else. I don't think that the Jamaican Bobsled Team was ever even remotely competitive in the 88 games. But ultimately, I really enjoyed the film, but I could not help but think what this would have looked like if it had been more Remember the Titans and less D2 the Mighty Ducks. So with all of that said, D2 1, Little Giants 2. That's a swap from last week.
Lost your mind.
D3 3. Now here's a big twist. Here's a big twist. Cool Runnings did not make my top 10 sports film. Space Jam did, but I got Cool Runnings at 4.
Wow.
Space Jam at 5, especially because I totally forgot we even watched it. D1 at 6. Angels in the outfield
Yeah,
right
listen.
now at last. But all of this could change.
At
All of
this
could
point,
change.
I'm just wanting scraps because your list is just an absolute travesty. But will you at least just get, since we're doing this and you forgot of the 7 movies we watched, Space Jam was one of them. Will you retroactively go back and say maybe Space Jam isn't one of the top 10 best sports movies of all time?
Here's
Could
what
you
I'll
just
do.
say
Well,
that?
no, I won't do that. But here's what I'll do for you this week, Dan.
not. Yeah.
Here's what I'll do for you this week. For this week, and this will change next week, almost definitely. Brand, you can put Space Jam at last for me this week.
Yeah.
Just this week.
Wow.
But
Just-
Little
I
Giants
think that's
only sneaking down to 2.
yeah. I think that's very big of me to do this
So
week.
big
So
of
you're
you.
welcome, Dano, and Brand. I'll kick it to you.
This movie is incredible. I love it. First of all, let's start with, last week I did a whole thing about how the kid from the Little Giants, him not being the greatest actor of our generation is one of the biggest
Hilarious.
travesties of
That thought,
ever.
whatever. But
I stand by that, but I want to add Dougie Doug. Dougie Doug
Shout out.
is
shut out.
so stinking funny. He is incredible. And every time he does anything, I laugh. And it's great. And even in the more serious tone that this, final third of the movie has, you still have some all-timer Dougie Doug moments. And even just little things like Yule being like, "I'll kiss your lucky egg," and him letting him and then him wiping it off. Like, it's just Dougie Doug is so dang funny. And he is getting to act with one of the funniest people ever. In John Candy,
Yeah.
who is playing a very serious role. And John Candy's so dang good. And it's just It's incredible. And John Candy didn't have to do this very silly Disney sports movie, and he did. And we are better for it because it is phenomenal. I love this movie. It was one that I watched on a regular basis as a kid, and it holds up. This sucker holds up real good. This is where I was wrestling with this because to remind you, last week and for the past couple weeks, what it's been for me is number 1, Mighty Ducks, number 2, Angels in the Outfield, right? And I said that I feel like that could at some point change, and it has changed. And here is why. I found myself while doing my rankings having a hard time putting Cool Runnings ahead of Angels in the Outfield, but not a hard time putting it in front of Mighty Ducks. And so I said, well, Self, if that's the case, then it perhaps is time to move Mighty Ducks down, which I have. So I have, from Last Wars, I have D3 at number 7, Space Jam at 6, Little Giants at 5, D2 at 4, Mighty Ducks at 3, Cool Runnings premiering at number 2, and number 1 for me, and I'm surprised by it, but it's Angels in the Outfield at number 1. I don't know what to do about it, but here we are. Angels in the Outfield, number 1 for me. Dana, what do you think about Cool Runnings?
Brand, I was taking a very few movies in the movie theaters growing up especially before I was in middle school. My brother, I was 9. I thought I was 9. You said October of 93, which would have made me 10. My brother had like a sleepover on the weekend that this movie came out. My mom taught, but my dad picked me up from school, and mom got in the car, and we went to a matinee showing of Cool Runnings right after school. I remember dad thinking the car was going to run out of gas. We stopped at a gas station. My mom ran in with a $1 bill, one singular dollar, and put it on the counter and said $1 of gas. You could pump the gas ahead of time back then. I'm old. I'm ancient. I get it. My dad pumped $1 worth of gas, and we got back in, and we rolled into the theater in Columbia, South Carolina, as you see the backdrop and Derice running. So we barely made it. This is like a core memory of just my childhood, and my parents, doing things with my brother was awesome, but my parents just taking me to the movies was a pretty special treat. Probably the only time it ever happened in my before middle school childhood. So this holds a special place in my heart for that reason. This movie totally holds up. I have a hard time believing it was going to be serious like Miracle if Dougie Doug was attached. If it was going to be serious and then they redid it and then they attached Dougie Doug, that makes sense. But there's no world where this movie was Miracle serious with Dougie Doug in it.
Can you imagine?
I agree with that.
Can you imagine Dougie Doug being in Miracle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a better film.
Let's just take a second and think about it.
As Coach Herb Brooks. Listen, Dougie Doug is great. The whole cast is great. John Candy being serious. John Candy was taken from us the next year, the year after this movie came out, and he's basically 42 when he does this movie, and his timing's amazing. I had a blast watching this movie. I laughed. I was moved by this movie. If I have a complaint, it is that in my head, the last 25 minutes, this movie is an hour for better, right? So like there's a scene I'm going to talk about in the Fields where John Candy talks to Derice, and that scene rules. It's got my favorite line of any movie we've watched so far in it. And in my head, that scene is like 5 minutes long. And in reality, it's about 90 seconds. They do the trial, the figure out he's cheating, the get a bobsled, the bad race, the good race, and then the final race. All of that happens so quickly that I that's not how it happened when I was a kid. It took a lot longer when I was a kid, and it meant more. But maybe that's because they do such a good job at the beginning of this movie building the characters, and they don't get to Calgary until like minute 36. I looked. So over a third of the runtime of this film is in Jamaica, which is fantastic. And there are a few missteps here, but by and large, they keep from doing this thing where they offend Jamaica, which is, you see the cover of this movie, and that's the danger and they do it a little bit, but not much. They actually do a pretty good job of representing the country, at least to not look like they're less than. And I think that is a big hurdle for a Disney's 1990 sports movie. So that's a minor complaint. The cast of this movie and John Candy is amazing. I say all that to say this. Brandon and I have the exact same top 4. When do Bran and me agree on anything? When do we agree? I'm just telling you, it isn't intentional, right? It just goes to show you the idea that Little Giants, Ryan, I'm sure that it literally cured your chicken pox when you were little. I'm sure it did. The idea that Little Giants is in the same universe as Cool Runnings and Angels in the Outfield and Mighty Ducks is crazy. It's crazy. My order, Angels in the Outfield 1, which I'm also shocked, Bran. Yeah. Watching that movie again, I was moved so many times in that movie by the performances, by how they treat.
Really like Angels in the Outfield. Oh my gosh,
I don't think you do. Ryan hates orphans and the idea of fostering and adopting children. Ryan hates it.
And he just the bird lady.
That's right. Yeah.
He thinks JGG's overrated.
That's right. Angels in the Outfield 1. He thinks Tony Danza should have died earlier.
Yeah. Go to the pen. Danza's about to croak.
Mel Clark, get him out of there. He's dying.
Yeah. Literally, get him out of there.
Get him out of there.
By there, we mean this
out of there.
Here, Earth.
Yeah. 1 Angels in the Outfield. 2 Cool Runnings. 3 Mighty Ducks. 4 Mighty Ducks 2. This is where we differ. I have Mighty Ducks 3 at 5. Little Giants at 6. Space Jam at 7. The same place that Ryan has it.
Wow.
This week. Yes, this week. Yes.
This week.
Yeah.
It's time for all the feels where we talk about what this movie gave us feels. I'll start with you, Rye.
Yeah, I mean, you guys really already covered this. I did not specifically call out Dougie Doug by name in my hot take because I wanted to do it here. I love Sanka. I love Dougie Doug. I mean, just like, again, I am not saying that like the idea of what this as a more serious drama could have looked like entices me to the point where I don't want Dougie Doug in this film doing everything that Sanka does. And one thing I was thinking about when watching this is that out of all 7 of these that we've watched, granted, Dougie Doug didn't write the line, but like, whether it's all the biggest quotes out of all 7 of these films probably all come from this, like, most popular, most ingrained in the pop culture. I think the top 3 are probably in Cool Runnings and are all said by Dougie Doug.
Oh,
so make of that what you will. He is absolutely electric in this film and absolutely my feels brand.
Yeah, he's so funny. Like,
yeah.
I don't know whether I should bring this up or not, but he went toe to toe with Cosby.
Yes.
In the second
Cosby show. Yes.
He went toe to toe with him.
And really restrained himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like the dude is so funny.
Funny guy.
Really is.
And he's only like 22 in this movie.
Yeah.
And like the actor is only 22 or 23 when he made that movie.
Like he's like, what, where is he? Where is he? You saw him in the panel.
I don't know if we talked about Dougie Doug, Where Are They Now during the panel, but like, I mean, he seemed to be in great spirits, and we should be hiring him for more stuff, like us specifically.
Yeah, we should be hiring him.
Dougie Doug. He's on the line right now.
No, he is not. No, he's not. I've been told he's not. Yeah, listen, you said an interesting thing, which was that you didn't think that the bobsleds. You said what'd you say?
No, the Olympic side of it.
No, you said specifically the bobsled scene.
I said I thought the bobsled stuff looked. I mean, I didn't think it looked as good as like D2 or D3 Mighty Ducks hockey.
I think the bobsled stuff is as good as it gets.
I thought the bobsled stuff was really good.
Like with the crash.
When they go to the TV stuff, I thought that was great. But also, are they using real footage in this film? I don't think they are. Like,
who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know. When they when the crash happens.
Oh, the crash is really well shot.
When you are watching their heads.
Yeah.
Without the Power Rangers helmet, they do have a helmet on it. It's not the
it's
one with the brain.
Better. I don't
know. I don't know how much they spent on it. They could have probably got it cheaper on Macquarie. And like I felt it. I felt like this movie. Rule. I don't really know what my feels is. It's all of it. All of it is my feels.
All of it. Wow. All right. Calm it down over there. So sports movies tend to all have the same or similar lessons in them, like they just do, and that's fine. It's just like the reason they make 100 Hallmark movies because it works. It works in sports movies. That's the case. That's actually why Warrior is my favorite sports movie, is because it aspires to a much bigger, deeper lesson that you and I have to watch Warrior. We just do.
Is Dougie Doug in it?
Dougie Doug not in Warrior.
Gummit.
He does not make the cut in Warrior. This is not a new lesson, but John Candy was a coach. He cheated in the Olympics. He got caught. He got stripped of his gold medals. And then Derice is like, why'd you cheat? And John Candy, for all intents and purposes to this point is, freaking Uncle Buck. He's the guy in Home Alone who loves polka. He's, all of these big, larger than life characters. And in this moment, John Candy gets to just deliver a powerhouse of a speech where he talks about all he cared about was winning. And if winning's everything, it's nothing. And then he literally says, I know you want the gold medal, but then he says this line, if you're not good enough without it, you'll never be good enough with it. And I mean, let me tell you, that is it right there. Like that is everything I want my kids to know about sports and life in one sentence. If you perseverate so much on getting a thing, a material possession, if you're not good enough as a human being without it, you'll never be good enough with it. And he just kind of casually throws that bomb before he goes out to eat with the rest of the team. It's fantastic. Like in my head, that's like a 5 or 10 minute scene that ends with that line. He doesn't even sit down, gang. He just is standing up and he's like, you want to get a sandwich with us? No? Okay, well, let me throw you this little nugget. And then he walks out and he crushes it. And it's a great scene and I loved it.
That John Candy. Say what you will about him.
Say we will.
Phenomenal.
So we will.
Phenomenal?
Phenomenal.
He's phenomenal.
Say what you will.
He's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
He's amazed.
Phenomenal.
He's fabulous.
You need a new tongue, dude.
Brother,
Dude, he got his today. Can you believe that?
I'm gonna get one during the break.
That's today.
I'm gonna get
the break
one during the break.
Go to the tongue
During the
store.
break?
I'm gonna get one. Okay, we'll be right back here on Dynamic.
Oh. Woo. How you feel?
How's that feeling?
It feels.
It takes a second.
It feels pretty good.
Oh,
See, it's really quick though, right?
It's quick.
Let me try this. Phenomenal.
Wow. Phenomenals
You
are
didn't
gone.
even need to play Fortnite for it.
He'll never
That's
misspeak
impressive.
again.
Never. Mark
That's a new
my
tongue guarantee.
words. That's a new tongue guarantee. At least 90 days.
At least.
It is time for the Wait What Is, where we talk about what in this movie made us go, wait, what? I will start with you, Rye Guy.
Yeah, we talked about how the last moments of this film are really, the true story of the true story. I don't know how the rest of it really happened overall, but I have a hard time believing that Leon's character, if posed with the idea of, hey, you could try cycling, or hey, you could try this winter sport when you live in Jamaica,
yeah.
that he would be totally against the idea of cycling. But, bobsled sounds like a really interesting idea.
It is the best when he's like, I'll do anything to get to the Olympics. And they're like, well, you could try cycling. He's like, hell no.
You highly
Cycling.
conditioned athlete,
I'm a runner. I would never. You think people that run cycle?
Or good at endurance sports?
Yeah. Do you think they swim too? Are you crazy? And then he's like, bobsledding. I'm listening.
Yeah.
That's
What
weird.
is bobsled?
That's weird. Yeah.
I feel like John Candy should have been more open to the idea of coaching right off rip because, at least it could conceivably make him some money quickly. Maybe a little more than betting on
the horses.
On Thunderlips or whatever the horse's name was.
Yep.
I mean,
I don't think it's Thunderlips.
That go with your new tongue there?
listen, it's it confuses characters from Rocky 3 with cool running.
That's fair.
Is one of the side effects. I don't know, and ultimately, I bet he did make some change off of coaching the Jamaican Bobsled Team. This is an all-encompassing one. I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to harp on it. There's honestly so many, but the timeline really bothered me because you wouldn't be doing Olympic sprinting qualifying in a winter Olympic year you don't do that. You're not going to find your male or female Olympic sprinters 2 years before the Summer Olympics. And then conversely, you're not going to be able to qualify for the Winter Olympics with only 3 months or less to go. I don't know why they did that.
No, don't you qualify in the year in a year that isn't an Olympic year? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, but you wouldn't do 2 years out.
No.
Which is what this has.
Well, let's talk about how we would do it if the Olympics was every year. How would we do it? It might look a little something like this.
That's right.
If you actually want to go to the Facebook group after, I'm going to post my very elongated PowerPoint on how I would actually.
You've been working hard on this. Yes, I'm very excited.
This essay, I will.
Yeah. So, listen, I really like Yule and Junior. I think their dynamic is one of the highlights of the film, of which there are many. But you really got to question their commitment to the bobsled team when there's like 30 people at this meeting on time, and they're the 2 that are late. It's if they really wanted it, I think they would have showed up on time. And then this one's really big for me, not just for the movie, but for the 90s and culture back then in general, the decade that I love. Were kissing booths really a thing? Because I don't like them. And also
so many sitcoms had a kissing booth in it. Family Matters, big kissing booth.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're all over media in the 90s.
Crazy.
And so not only do I not...
As a kid, you're like, can't wait for my turn. At some point, every guy has a kissing booth, and it's just the way life is.
And it's always $1.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So that was my other point, Dan. I don't know how much the Jamaican dollar is worth in terms of getting them to the Olympics, and I don't know I don't know any of that stuff. I'm not a mathematician, but they're trying to raise a significant sum of money. And they're only charging, why not at least $2?
If
$5.
People know the cause, they'll be willing to give.
And a lot of people know Derice.
Yeah.
You get it,
Derice, let's be honest, Derice is worth more than $1.
He's also
that's what I'm saying.
He's also
Let's
married.
just say it's a one-year.
He's out there. It's $100 a kiss.
Yeah,
right. But that's the thing. I don't know what the conversion rate is, but 1 to 1. Let's just say it's $1. They need to raise 30,000. 30,000 kisses. You're going to be sick for years.
Yeah.
It's
but I mean, he made $187. It's 187 kisses.
Yeah.
If he had gotten 100 a kiss, they're at $18,700. They're only 1,300 short from the whole trip.
Just poor planning all the way around.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. And then last one. Okay, I guess this maybe ties into my Olympic timeline stuff. John Candy was going to save giving them uniforms until the Olympics as a surprise. What did you want them to wear during qualifying? I mean, it didn't make any sense, but
big
still
reveal.
A great film.
It's a big reveal.
Big reveal.
Yeah.
It's a big reveal.
It's not like giving Michael B. Jordan the Apollo trunks.
Oh, what a scene!
Oh, it's my number one sports film of all time.
Dude, we're watching the Rocky movies at my house with my boys, and they don't know that Apollo Creed dies in 4. They think that Creed is about Apollo fighting, and I just am so excited. For what's to come.
I'm so excited to crush them.
They're gonna love it, dude. They're gonna love it.
I can't wait for him to sob.
That's it for me, Brent.
Okay, wait a minute.
Let's get to it's my turn. I love, they do this whole thing about we need obviously 4 people to do this bobsled, right? So we're gonna do a whole call, and everybody's going to come, and it's going to be a whole thing. And they do get 4, but then about halfway through the movie, they do drop the fact that there is a 2-man bobsled team.
Yeah.
We could have saved ourselves a lot of time and just do Derice and Sanka. And that would, they were in.
Oh, they'd have crushed it. They may have medaled.
And it probably would have been easier to teach 2 versus 4 people, but whatever.
That movie slides in a 65 minutes.
That's true.
Because you don't have junior stuff.
Yeah, you don't have
any of that.
You don't have any of that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this, and you brought it up while we were watching this, and it is something that I had never thought about before. But this, Jamaican bobsled team comes to Canada, and they go to a honky tonk.
Yeah, you took mine. How dare you?
What is that?
Do you remember the scene?
What is that?
Do you remember when everybody in Calgary went out to the honky tonk? Listen, I know that in Canada, in not big cities, there's a lot of rednecks in Canada, but they're not rednecks. They're called they're just different. I don't know what Marcus Rosner is one.
It's just different.
They're not redneck. They're not calling themselves rednecks. They call themselves something else. I don't know what it was.
That's their slogan, Canadian rednecks. We're just different.
We're just different.
There's plenty of farmers and cowboy hat wearers. This is the city, the metropolis of Calgary. It's freezing cold. They need a bar fight. Why not a honky tonk? Why not straws hanging out of people's mouths, a fiddle on the stage, and line dancing? What says Canada better than those things? What says it? Nothing. That's what
I got nothing.
And then, just when you think it's over, as the team is getting ready to head into the Olympic chambers, I don't know, the big, the Olympic city. What do they call it? the
Olympic Village?
The Olympic
right?
Village? Yeah.
They're getting ready to walk in. John Candy is wearing something he hasn't worn all movie and waited for this moment to wear, which is a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It just threw me off. I didn't see it coming. Last but not least, what is up with this Alliance Rules Committee people changing rules willy-nilly?
Yeah.
You can't do this.
You can't do that.
They change at least 3 different rules during the...
People train for years.
It's always been, and he keeps being like, it used to be this, and then they're like, well, we changed it, which, that does change. I'm sure things have changed since he was in the Olympics. They don't change the day of. Hey, we talked about it's no longer 63 seconds, it's 60 seconds flat.
I do
I
think...
really like to think that's Disney-fied,
Yes,
right?
We can't just do that the day of. We have been training to get to 63 seconds.
I think the Olympics of this holds up better than the Mighty Ducks 2 for a number of reasons. However, the
exists.
The idea that there is an international
story.
an international alliance of winter sports in this movie is crazy. It's so dumb. It's the biggest white one of the movie. I would agree with that.
Dan, what do you got?
Yeah, so this movie does a pretty good job of being respectful of a country that is not making the movie. It's a United States movie making a movie about Jamaica, except for the idea that Jamaica holds their Olympic trials on a goat track. Yeah. Guys, in the 1990s and even the 80s, Jamaica held their Olympic trials at a place called Independence Park in Kingston. Look it up. It is a fully enclosed track. It's flat. It is the geometry is perfect. It's a great track. They pitch to you that Jamaica as an island is one farm. And even the scenes where the camera is even with the ground, you can see that there's like undulations in the racetrack. And maybe that's why people are tripping and falling all the time, is because you think that the Olympic trials for Jamaica take place in the back 40 of somebody's farm. You guys can do better. And when Derice falls, his knee is actually dirty and skinned before he falls down. So that wasn't the first take. A little bit of a thing to grab there. Coach Blitzer, John Candy, basically he's like, I'll coach you, but only first let me grab my bobsled falls film reel and projector complete with Benny Hill music. He's like, let me coach you, but first you have to watch all these people dying. And then I'll coach you. Put a lot of time and effort into that for some reason. The best newspaper headline they could come up with was Jamaicans chase sled. That sounds like a yearbook caption I came up with when I worked on the yearbook. This is a national newspaper. Everyone involved be better. This is journalism. Just be better. There's a guy who's apparently the best bobsled driver in the world. He always shows up and he's like, Jamaica, and gets under Derice's skin. On the day of the final round, before his race, this guy is smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, brother.
He is about to
the 90s
participate in a very intense Olympic sport for a gold medal. He is over there ripping butts.
That's how much better he is than everyone else he knows.
That's how much better he is. He could do this with emphysema. He doesn't care. Jamaica. He is over there just absolutely PG Disney movie, just ashtray, just flicking them everywhere.
You know what? I think we've swung too hard against smoking. You can't do it anymore on TV, and it's like, which people will smoke a little bit of cigarettes on TV.
Bit.
Like that, you see that guy do that, and you're like, well, yeah,
he's the bad guy.
So
that's
confident.
the bad guy. That's the
Otherwise,
bad guy.
you just think he's an accomplished athlete.
That's right. You think he really belongs there.
He's doing that with lung cancer.
How many decades do we have to go back before the best athlete of any Olympic sport, the day of the medal game, is smoking a cigarette?
Yeah.
60s, 50s?
Yeah.
Like 40s?
By the way, one other thing they revealed in the panel, a deleted scene, is that right after that scene, this didn't make the movie, Christopher Lloyd goes to visit Dougie Doug and says that guy's not going to make it to the next Olympic cycle.
6 months left to live. We're a capricious crowd. Roll credit.
That's good.
Yeah, that's all I got.
It's time for What the Hallmark. It's where we talk about any questions that we still have that we'd like some answers to. Right, guy.
Yeah, do you guys want to start a team handball team for the Summer Olympic
yes.
Games?
Dude, I freaking
I
love
think
team
Brian, I don't
handball.
know how many we need. I think 5. So Brian will do it. He's really good at pool. We know he's an
Yeah,
accomplished
billiards.
athlete.
Yes, that's right. He loves cigarettes
We all
too.
had NBA dreams at one point.
Yeah.
And so, and then they can make a movie about our lives. Because I don't think America competes in team handball. So I really think that this is something to think about.
I can't believe we don't compete in team handball. That sport rules. It's
That's sport
awesome.
rules.
The team handball fixed soccer single-handedly.
Yeah. I don't disagree. It
They
rules.
fixed it. Soccer was good enough for
stay out of this
thousands
one.
of years, and they were like, "Hear me out," and they
Maybe our
fixed
hands.
it.
Yeah.
They made it a 10 of 10.
Guy over
Yeah.
here.
All right, cool. All right, so we'll talk about
Taking
that
down
offline,
the
but I'm glad
world
we're in.
sport of soccer. Handball's better.
We fixed it. Team handball.
Yep, we did it.
You've brought up an interesting point, which is that this was originally so it's supposed to be a little bit more serious, and I just want to know, like, how much did Disney tinker with it to make it, like, how much did they add to it?
The announcers go full Homer in this movie.
They do.
They go
Yeah.
full Jamaica
So, like,
sweatshirts. There's no way that happened.
Like, would
Which
we
I like,
even,
but yeah.
I want to read that original script, and like, but also, like, looking at this movie, like, so much of the comedy is in, like, just the things that, like, Dougie Doug does, It's like, it's not like they had to change a ton to make it funny. You just add Dougie Doug. So, like, how much different is it, I guess, is my question. Dano?
Yeah, I mean, this is a PG show, but and this is a PG movie. But
Okay.
Dougie Doug has a line where he's talking to Yul Brenner, and he says, "I haven't seen you, I don't remember, this angry or this embarrassed or whatever, since Julie Jeffries asked to see your ding-a-ling." That's what he says. Okay, well, number one, how do you know about this?
I mean, you would tell your buddy.
But
Yeah,
two,
I mean, like,
what was the context that made you angry? Like, he's not saying it like you're like.
Yeah, you weren't thrilled.
What a weird call.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
At that
Yeah.
moment, what a weird pull by Dougie Doug to be like, I'm going to remind you of this time that was stressful for you.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Why is it in this movie? What happened? What happened? That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We did it, everybody.
Yeah, we did.
And good news is there's more 90s movies to get to.
Yeah, there
Next
are.
week,
Yeah, what are we watching, Brent?
we're heading back to baseball. And the rumor has it, the tendons have healed a little tight. It's time for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Excited
Come on,
about
man.
it. Excited
Come
about
on.
it.
In my arm.
Come on back for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Until next time, and we're the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmarks, the Bramble Jam podcast produced by Brandon Gray in the Yeah That Greenville studios. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. You'll find videos, information on the host. You can go to YouTube to watch our videos. To listen to this episode and every other episode ad-free, you can go to bramblejamplus.com.
Nice.